Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the daily readings of Srila Prabhupada's books. And the book that we've been reading for quite some time, because it's the longest one, is the Srimad-Bhagavatam. And the Srimad-Bhagavatam is so wonderful because it contains the glories of the Lord in the purest way. There's nothing else in it but glorification of the incarnations of the Lord and the Lord. And there's 33 incarnations mentioned that get some space. A chapter, 2 chapters, a mention, and they're more than that just get mentions. But of them, the one that is getting the most press is Krishna. And this Bhagavatam shows that Krishna is the source of all other, everything actually, the source of everything, including all of the incarnations. So by dedicating ourselves to hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam patiently and attentively and with desire to surrender unconditionally, then we can get Krishna Prema. And all other things, all other benedictions that we might get are contained within that Krishna Prema, including liberation. We don't even have to seek it. It's there already. If we can just attain this unconditional attachment to hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam. Okay, that's our preamble for today. Sanatana Goswami's prayer glorifying Srimad-Bhagavatam. We read every day, and it's just so wonderful. We're going to read it again today. Srimad-Bhagavatam Mihima Stotram, and it goes like this. Sarva Shastabdi Piyusha Sarva Vedaika Satpala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada. O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths, you are the only giver of sight to all the worlds. Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kalidwan Doditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita. O life air of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. Paramananda Padaya Prema Varshakshadayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Sri Krishnaya Namostume. I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself. Madeka Bando Matsangin Madguro Man Mahadana Man Nisadaka Mad Bhagya Mad Ananda Namostute. My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you. Asadu saduta dayin adinit chotata kada hanamun chagadachin mam premna ritkanta yospura. O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay, we've reached the 8th canto, 3rd chapter, in which Gajendra, the king of the elephants, after being attacked by a crocodile and coming to the end of his strength, because the crocodile drug him into the water, and the elephant is not a creature of the water, So there he doesn't get strength, but the crocodile gets strength because he's the creature of the water. So it's coming to the end, and he just lifted his trunk, grabbed the lotus flower from the water, because it's a very nice lake he was in, and he waved it, and he started to offer the prayers that he had learned from a previous birth as Indradumna. And we're going to find out what happens as a result of that prayer pretty soon. But for now, let's hear the rest of the prayers. Gajendra. Beginning with text 18. My Lord, those who are completely freed from material contamination always meditate upon you within the cores of their hearts. You are extremely difficult to attain for those like me who are too attached to mental concoction, homes, relatives, friends, money, servants, and assistants. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, uncontaminated by the modes of nature. You are the reservoir of all enlightenment, the Supreme Controller. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes into the material world, he is unaffected by the modes of material nature. This is confirmed in Ishopanishad. Apapa vidam. He is not contaminated. This same fact is described here. Gunasanga vivarjitaya. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as an incarnation within this material world, he is unaffected by the modes of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9:11, Avajanantimam mudha manushim tanum ashritam. Foolish men with insufficient knowledge derive the personality of Godhead because he appears just like a human being. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood only by the Muktatma, the liberated soul. Muktatmabi swaridaye paribhavitaya. Only the liberated person can constantly think of Krishna. Such a person is the greatest of all yogis. Yoginam apisarvesham madkatenan tadatmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam sameyuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Bhagavad Gita 6:47. Text 19. After worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, those who are interested in the four principles of religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, obtain from him what they desire. What then is to be said of other benedictions? Indeed, sometimes the Lord gives a spiritual body to such ambitious worshippers. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unlimitedly merciful, bestow upon me the benediction of liberation from this present danger and from the materialistic way of life. Purport. Some men within this material world are akam. Must be an earth-shaking statement. We'll read that again. Some men within this material world are akami, free from material desire. Some are ambitious to get more and more material profit, and some desire fulfillment in religious life, economic development, sense gratification, and finally, liberation. Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tibrina bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Bhagavatam 2:3-10. It is recommended that whatever one's position, whether one demands no material profit, all material profit, or ultimately liberation, one should offer his obedient devotional service to the Lord, and one will get whatever he desires. Krishna is so kind. Yayatam mam prapadyante tangs tataiva bhajam yaham. The Lord reciprocates. Whatever even an ordinary living entity wants, Krishna gives. Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, and he gives that which is desired by the living entity. Ishwarat sarvabhutanam riddhisher junatishtiti brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. 1861. The Lord gives everyone an opportunity to fulfill his ambitions. Even such a devotee as Dhruva Maharaj wanted the material benediction of a kingdom greater than that of his father. And although he received a spiritual body, he also got the kingdom. For the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not disappoint anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Therefore, since Gajendra, king of the elephants, had surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to get free from the present danger, and indirectly from the present danger of materialistic life, why should the Supreme Personality of Godhead not fulfill? Okay. Why should the Supreme Personality of Godhead not fulfill his desire? Text 20 and 21. Unalloyed devotees who have no desire other than to serve the Lord worship Him in full surrender and always hear and chant about His activities, which are most wonderful and auspicious. Thus they always merge in an ocean of transcendental bliss. Such devotees never ask the Lord for any benediction. I, however, am in danger. Thus I pray to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is eternally existing, who is invisible, who is the Lord of all great personalities such as Brahma, and who is available only by transcendental bhakti yoga. Being extremely subtle, He is beyond the reach of my senses and transcendental to all external realization. He is unlimited. He is the original cause, and He is completely full in everything. I offer my obeisances unto Him. Purport. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma janavritam anukul yena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain, through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Unalloyed devotees have nothing to ask from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Gajendra, the king of the elephants, was circumstantially asking for an immediate benediction because he had no other way to be rescued. Sometimes when there is no alternative, a pure devotee, being fully dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord, prays for some benediction. But in such prayer there is also regret. One who always hears and chants about the transcendental pastimes of the Lord is always situated on a platform on which he has nothing to ask in terms of material benefits. Unless one is completely pure, unless one is a completely pure devotee, one cannot enjoy the transcendental bliss derived from chanting and dancing in the ecstasy of the Sankirtan movement. Such ecstasy is not possible for an ordinary devotee. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us how one can enjoy transcendental bliss simply by chanting, hearing, and dancing in ecstasy. This is Bhakti Yoga. Therefore the king of the elephants, Gajendra, said, Adyatmika Yoga Gamyam, indicating that unless one is situated on this transcendental platform, one cannot approach the Supreme Lord. The benediction of being able to approach the Lord can be achieved after many, many births. Yet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has awarded this benediction to anyone, everyone rather, even to the fallen souls who have no heritage of anything in spiritual life. That's us. Well, some excluded. That is actually being seen in the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, the path of Bhakti Yoga is the spotless process by which to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhaktyaham ekayagraya. Only through devotional service can one approach the Supreme Lord. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 7:1, Maya saktamanak partha yogam yunjan madashrayaha asam shayam samagram mam yata gyasyasi touch trinu. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Simply by being attached to Krishna consciousness and by thinking of this Lord, the lotus feet of Krishna constantly, one can fully understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without a doubt. Text 22 to 24. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods, and the expansions of Vedic knowledge, Sama, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and non-moving, with their different names and characteristics. As the sparks of a fire or the shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into it again and again, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, the gross and subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformations of the different modes of nature all emanate from the Lord and again merge into Him. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird nor beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter, nor is he an animal. He is not a material quality, a fruitive activity, a manifestation or non-manifestation. He is the last word in the discrimination of not this, not this. And he is unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of God. What a wonderful prayer. Huh? Let's hear that again. You don't mind? Anybody mind? Okay. This is wonderful. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma. Now this means in the material world, because the Jivas are not created. It's talking about in the material world. The creatures and their bodies and how it all works. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the Jiva Tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods, and the expansions of Vedic knowledge, Sama, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and non-moving, and their different names and characteristics. As the sparks of a fire or the shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into it again and again, the mind and the intelligence, the senses, the gross and subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformations of the different modes of nature all emanate from the Lord and again merge into Him. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird or beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter. Nor is he an animal. He is not a material quality, a fruit of activity, a manifestation or non-manifestation. He is the last word in the discrimination of not this, not this. And he is unlimited. In other words, if you just keep going, not this, not this, not this, not this, forever until you get to Krishna, then you get to the last word. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What a wonderful prayer. Purport. This is a summary description of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's unlimited potency. That Supreme One is acting in different phases by manifesting his parts and parcels, which are all simultaneously differently situated by his different potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vibhidaiva Shruyate. Each and every potency is acting quite naturally. Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. Therefore the Lord is unlimited. Natat Shamash Chabidikash Shadrishyate. Nothing is equal to him, nor is anything greater than him. Although he manifests himself in so many ways, personally he has nothing to do. Natasya karyam karanam nividyate. For everything is done by expansions of his unlimited energies. 25. I do not wish to live any more after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body covered externally and internally by ignorance? I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. Purport. In this material world, every living entity is covered by the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, who is described and offered prayers in the Gautamiya Tantra as follows. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible in the material world. One must understand, however, that this struggle for existence is due to ignorance. For otherwise, every living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There is no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Because of ignorance, we consider every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing. But in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma down to that of an ant, no one can actually be happy. We are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we've tried to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. Text 26. Now, fully desiring release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person, who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the supreme knower of everything in this world, the supersoul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Purport. Sometimes when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, is preached to the common man, people argue, where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is externally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on this basis of suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. Shall I read that again? Oh, all right. Sometimes when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, is preached to the common man, people argue, where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. Text 27. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, the Super Soul, the Master of all mystic yoga, who is seen in the core of the heart by perfect mystics when they are completely purified and freed from the reactions of fruitive activity by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Purport. The king of the elephants, Gajendra, simply accepted that there must be someone who has created this cosmic manifestation and has supplied its ingredients. Why then do the non-devotees and atheists not admit this? The reason is that they are polluted by the reactions of their fruitive activities. One must be freed from all the dirt accumulated within the heart due to fruitive activities performed one after another. One must wash off this dirt by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Yoga randita karmana. As long as one is covered by material nature's modes of ignorance and passion, there is no possibility of understanding the Supreme Lord. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayas chaye. When one is freed from the modes of ignorance and passion, one becomes free from the lowest qualities, kama and lobha, lust and greed. Nowadays there are so many yoga schools who encourage people in developing their lusty desires and greed through the practice of yoga. People are therefore very much fond of so-called yoga practice. The actual practice of yoga, however, is described here, as authoritatively stated in the Srimad-Bhagavatam 12:13:1. Dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa pashanti yam yoginaha. A yogi is one who always meditates on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5:38. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santak sedaiva ridiyeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achintya gunasarupam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyamasundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. The Bhakti Yogi constantly sees Shyamasundar, beautiful Lord Krishna, with his blackish bodily hue. Because the king of the elephants, Gajendra, thought himself an ordinary animal, he thought himself unfit to see the Lord. In his humility, he thought that he could not practice yoga. In other words, how can those who are like animals in the bodily concept of life and who have no purity of consciousness practice yoga? In the present day, people who have no control over their senses, who have no understanding of philosophy, and who do not follow religious principles or rules and regulations are nonetheless pretending to be yogis. This is the greatest anomaly in the practice of mystic yoga. Hot yoga, cold yoga. I won't mention the other kind of yogas they do nowadays. Text 28. My Lord, you are the controller of formidable strength in three kinds of energy. You appear as the reservoir of all sense pleasure and the protector of the surrendered souls. You possess unlimited energy, but you are unapproachable by those who are unable to control their senses. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Purport. Attachment, greed, and lust are three formidable forces that prevent one from concentrating upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These forces act because the Supreme Lord does not like to be realized by non-devotees and atheists. However, when one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, these impediments are withdrawn, and one can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord is the protector of the surrendered soul. One cannot become a devotee until one surrenders unto the Lord's lotus feet. Then the Lord gives one the intelligence from within by which one can return home, back to Godhead. Text 29. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose illusory energy the jiva, who is part and parcel of God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. So if it's difficult, it confirms the Shastra, and we should have more faith in the Shastra. The evidence is there. It's just how we're evaluating it, that's all. If it says it's difficult, no, I don't like that, It's actually saying exactly what you're experiencing. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll go and listen more. No, I don't listen anymore because it's difficult. Why shouldn't it be easy? Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, every living entity, regardless of whether he be human, demigod, animal, bird, bee, or whatever, is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord and the living entity are intimately related like father and son. Unfortunately, because of material contact, the living entity forgets this and wants to enjoy the material world independently, according to his own plan. This illusion, Maya, is very difficult to surmount. Maya covers the living entity because of his willingness to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make his own plan to enjoy this material world. As long as this contamination continues, the conditioned soul will be unable to understand his real identity and will perpetually continue under illusion, life after life. Ato grihat chitra sutapta retire janas yamoho yamaham mameti. Bhagavatam 5.5.8. As long as the living entity is not enlightened so that he may understand his real position, he will be attracted by materialistic life, to house, country, or field, to society, sons, family, community, bank balance, and so on. Covered by all this, he will continue to think, I am this body, and everything related to this body is mine. This materialistic conception of life is extremely difficult to surmount. But one who surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as did Gajendra, the king of the elephants, comes to enlightenment on the Brahman platform. Brahma bhutak prasanatma nashochati nakangshati samak sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. What's not to like? He never laments, nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18:54. Since a devotee is completely on the Brahman platform, he is not jealous of any other living entity. Samak, sarveshu, bhuteshu. And that's the secret of the beginning of devotional service. Nirmat saranam satam. Right there in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, second verse. Dharma projito kaitavotra paramo nirmat saranam satam. Give up the envy of other living entities. And satam, be honest. And in the Gita, what does he say? Idam tute guyatamam prabhaksham anasuyave. What does anasuyave mean? Yes, without envy. And therefore I'm giving you this knowledge, confidential knowledge. You can't get the confidential knowledge. And what is the confidential knowledge, Supreme? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeva Samamti Samahatma Sadurlabhaha. Text 30. Sri Shukadeva Goswami continued, when the king of the elephants was describing the supreme authority without mentioning any particular person, he did not invoke the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Thus none of them approached him. However, because Lord Hari is the super soul, Purushottama, the personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. Purport. From the description of Gajendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various expansions, such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Chandra, and Indra, all thought, Gajendra is not asking our help. He is asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. As Gajendra had described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, human beings, and animals, all covered by separate forms. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought that they were unable to rescue him. Hanim bina naiva mitim taranti. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. It is only the Supreme Personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person, to get free from this dangerous existence, approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any demigod. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, kamais tais tai rityagana prapadyantenya devataha. Those who are unintelligent approach the various demigods for temporary material benefits. Actually, however, These demigods cannot rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. Like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Godhead's transcendental body. As stated in the Vedic mantras, Sa Atma Anganyanya Devataha. Within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands and legs, are external. Similarly, the Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation is Narayana, Lord Vishnu, and all the demigods, human beings and other living entities are his parts and parcels. It may also be concluded that since a tree lives on the strength of its root, and when the root is nourished with water, all the parts of the tree are nourished, one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original root of everything. He is very near to us because he lives within our hearts. As soon as the Lord understands that one is seeking his favor by fully surrendering, naturally he immediately takes action. Therefore, although the demigods did not come to the aid of Gajendra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before him because of his fervent prayer. This does not mean that the demigods were angry with Gajendra, for actually when Lord Vishnu is worshipped, all the other demigods are also worshipped. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. Yatat tador mula nishe chanena tripyanti tat skandabujo pashakaha prano paharach chachatendriyanam tataiva sarvarhanam attuteja. As pouring water in the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and is supplying food to the stomach, enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, so simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped, all the demigods are satisfied. Text 31. After understanding the awkward condition of Gajendra, who had offered his prayers, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, who lives everywhere, appeared with the demigods who were offering prayers to him. Carrying his disc and other weapons, he appeared there on the back of his carrier Garuda with great speed, according to his desire. Thus he appeared before Gajendra. Lord Vishnu ki jai. What was the name? Is the name of that? This? Yes, there is a name. We heard it. What?
Hari.
Maybe. I was thinking there's another specific form. This form. I can't remember. Maybe somebody can research.
And the one who came for Dhruva Maharaj is Prishni Garba.
Yeah, there's a name for. I think there's a name for this one too. But anyway, anybody who wants to worship, research. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur specifically hints that since Gajendra was in a difficult position and was praying for the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods, who could have immediately gone to his rescue, hesitated to go there. Since they considered Gajendra's prayer to be directed toward the Lord, they felt offended. Difference between the pure devotee and the demigods. He's making a prayer to the Supreme, even though he doesn't know who he is. And he doesn't say anything about the demigods, even though they're supposed to be satisfied with that, and they didn't go there because they felt offended. I guess we should avoid feeling offended. What do you think? Is it true? Let us avoid feeling offended. And this in itself was offensive. Consequently, when the Lord went there, they also went and offered prayers to the Lord. So they were just trying to get in too close to the Lord, get so that their offenses might be excused. Well, at least they're willing to do that to demigods, huh? 32. Gajendra had been forcefully captured by the crocodile in the water and was feeling acute pain. But when he saw that Narayana, wielding his disc, was coming in the sky on the back of Garuda, he immediately took a lotus flower in his trunk, and with great difficulty, due to his painful condition, he uttered the following words: O my Lord, Narayana, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. It's as simple as that. Just to let the words come out of the mouth, even if it's in as a result of an extreme condition, situation. O my Lord, Narayana, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. But better than that is, O Yashodanandana, O dearest Mother Yashoda, please give me shelter. Purport. The king of the elephants was so very dear to... The king of the elephants was so very eager to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead that when he saw the Lord coming in the sky with great pain and in a feeble voice, he offered respect to the Lord. A devotee does not consider a dangerous position to be dangerous. Now that's liberation. For in such a dangerous position, he can fervently pray to the Lord in great ecstasy. Thus, a devotee regards danger as a good opportunity. Tat tenu kampam susamik shamana. When a devotee is in great danger, he sees that danger to be the greatest mercy of the Lord, because it is an opportunity to think of the Lord very sincerely and with undiverted attention. Tattenu kampam sushimik shamana bunjana evatma kritam tipakam. Bhagavatam 10:14-8. Such a famous verse. It's everywhere in all the books. He does not excuse the Supreme Personality of Godhead for having let his devotee fall into such a dangerous condition. Rather, he considers that dangerous condition to be due to his past misdeeds and takes it as an opportunity to pray to the Lord and offer thanks for having been given such an opportunity. This is how to deal with material world and material difficulties and all these things. When a devotee lives in this way, his salvation, his going back to Godhead, back home back to Godhead, is guaranteed. There you have it, right there. We can see this to be true from the example of Gajendra, who anxiously prayed to the Lord and thus received an immediate chance to return home back to Godhead. Text 33. Thereafter, seeing Gajendra in such an aggrieved position, the unborn Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, immediately got down from the back of Garuda by his causeless mercy and pulled the king of the elephants. Wow. He got down and pulled him with his own hands. Huh? He could have had Garuda do it. Flap your wings a few times. You know, use your claws. Thereafter, seeing Gajendra in such an aggrieved position, the unborn Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari immediately got down from the back of Garuda by his causeless mercy and pulled the king of the elephants along with the crocodile out of the water. Then, in the presence of all the demigods who were looking on, the Lord severed the crocodile's mouth from its body with its disc. Animal rights, animal rights. In this way, he saved Gajendra, the king of the elephants. Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 8th canto, 3rd chapter of Srimad-Bhagavatam, entitled Gajendra's Prayers from Surrender. Wow, he's letting me win. Did you see that? Oops. I thought so. You're always winning. It's no fair. You gotta quit winners. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. It's only 2 minutes, so it's just 7:30. This is a wonderful section, prayers of Gajendra. It's no wonder that the gopis like to hear it. The sahajas, they think, I'm only going to think of the gopis, I'm not going to think of anything else. But the gopis, when they're with Krishna in the forest, they want to hear about these things also. And sometimes they cry when they hear about Dhruva, and Prahlad, and Gajendra. Okay, open mic time. I had it kind of covered. Is there any negative feedback about the sound? Nobody said anything because the thing was right. Anyway.
We have one comment. One question.
Okay, Vijay Lakshmi.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Please, can you help me understand the Brahman platform in the context of verse 29?
Help me to understand the Brahman platform in context with verse 29. Would you care to read verse 29, someone?
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose illusory energy, the jiva, who is part and parcel of God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand.
So, read the question again.
Please, can you help me understand the Brahman platform in the context of verse 29?
So, what's actually happening is that the Brahman effulgence is transformed, a part of it. A little part of the Brahman effulgence is transformed into the material energy. In that way, the Lord's energy is covering himself. Just like the sun shines down on the water and makes the cloud, and then the cloud covers the material energy. So read it again.
The question or the
Question.
Please, can you help me understand the Brahman platform in the context of the verse 29?
So read 29.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose illusory energy, the Jiva, who is part and by whose illusory energy the Jiva, who is part and parcel of God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand.
So Brahman, she wants to understand Brahman in relationship to this verse. So this is actually the same thing I was talking about yesterday and the day before, that the Brahman realization is not the complete realization of the absolute truth. It is not full liberation because there's still a desire. There's a desire to be liberated. And therefore the chit and the ananda feature that is there in the soul is not manifested. It's not fully manifested. So therefore the Brahman realization also covers the soul. It's a stage of, in a sense, it's a stage of ignorance. In a sense, it's not, because the soul is outside the material nature, is not experiencing the miseries of birth and death. But he's not experiencing chit or ananda either. He's in limbo. So in that sense, the Brahman is not is the Lord covers the soul even by that. That's the context. Unless we have another comment, would you care to make a comment? Yeah.
I thought that was spot on.
Well, thanks. Don't mind if I do. Yes, comment. Kelly, becoming a Vedic rishi in only 2 weeks.
Where it says, sometimes when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness is preached to the common man, people argue, where is Krishna, where is God? Can you show him to us? In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation. So for that, so whenever I was explaining to my friend something about Krishna consciousness, and he was like, well, how do you know it's real if you can't see it? And I was like, you breathe oxygen and you can't see it. It doesn't mean it's not real. And then he just looked at me like I was, I don't know, I guess rude. But I guess I made him think because he kept asking me things after that.
That's right. And sometimes people, when they get the truth, they think you're being rude because you're saying something that they don't know, and they want to think that they know more than you.
Yeah, and it's not an attack,
so therefore
it's just sharing.
Yeah, therefore they think it's rude. You're being rude. Prabhupada said, what his general response to that was, what kind of eyes do you have to see? And then we would point out, the same thing you did. And you point out so many things that you can't see that you accept. So why? But this is the very nice point that, if I'm here, that means I've got a father. Sure. And I may not know who he is, but you have a father, for sure. That's the same principle. So if you can't understand that, how are you expecting to see God? You can't even understand the simplest thing. You got no eyes to see anything, and you want to see God with them? Therefore, the Vedas say, get the eyes. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya. You get the eyes from the Guru. Not even from Krishna directly. Krishna gives it to him, but he gives it through the Guru. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati katopi. This is all Krishna's will, that it happens like this. Is that verse in the 11th chapter, or was it? Of the 11th canto, rather. It's my desire that the Lord be delivered by the dust from lotus feet of my pure devotees. He's arranged it like that. Why is it like that? And then one time in San Francisco, I think it was in the 70s, this smart aleck devotee, why is Krishna blue? It's like absurd inquiry. So Prabhupada gave him a real nice answer. Why don't you ask him? Meaning to understand there are things that Krishna, maybe he doesn't want you to understand. Maybe it's a confidential thing, why he manifests himself blue, Gotta have an intimate relationship with him, be able to know those kinds of things. And Edam tute guyatamam, that's confidential knowledge. Edam tute pravaksham anusuyave. Stop being envious of him and maybe he'll show you something. Stop criticizing him and blaming him for every little thing. Yes, Prana.
I've noticed a lot of the time with I've had a lot of experiential examples with people I know, my father being one of them. They have this claim to the atheistic viewpoint, but if you get into it with them, it's because they think, well, God can't exist because he wouldn't do this, he wouldn't be like this.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have done that to me in my life the way he did it if he existed. But I said,
all good and all kind and all that.
Yeah, but I always bring up, then you're actually acknowledging he exists. You just don't like how he dealt with you. You don't agree with his decisions. You're a little angry at him, actually. No, he doesn't exist. But
yeah, well, the thing is, the Prabhupada said on that point, it's just to give you another little, tip maybe, to something else to say. Prabhupada would say, yes, but what's the subject? There's a God. There is no God. There's God. There is no God. No, there's no God. There's God. No, there's no God. But what's the subject? God. Everybody, how can something that doesn't exist be taught by everyone?
And I think that's just when people fall victims to their own being. That's the thing. They question, why me, or why is this happening? Why not? You're not immune to anything bad. It's just how you react to it. You could see it's happening to you or it's happening for you.
Yeah, and real knowledge and a pure devotee thinks this is happening to me because of something that I did in the previously that I'm getting reaction for. Therefore, whenever we feel bad about anything or anyone or anything, we should feel like that. That's why I read out those verses last night from the Gita, those last verses in the 12th chapter, where Krishna actually explains how to please him. We really want to please him? Then think and feel and will and act like he is, like when he's to be pleased, and then we'll please him, and then we'll be pleased. Because unless you please him, you can't be pleased. Can't blame him. Well, I'm not pleased, so you must be doing something wrong, It's a responsibility. It's a matter of taking responsibility for one's own situation. If we're not satisfied, if we're suffering, if we're thinking this or that, whatever it is, it's our fault. It's not his fault. He creates the world in such a way as we can go back to him, and we choose not to. That's it. Clear. And this is the proof, Gajendra. It's an elephant. As soon as he gets to a place where it's do or die, he starts to pray and offers a lotus flower. Yes, Bhakti Doug.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Bhakti Doug.
Speaking on, or adding to that point you just made, I thought it was really, really interesting how Gajendra, he seemed to have a really intellectual understanding of the Supreme Personality, but it said that he didn't actually know who he was.
Yeah.
Yet he was put into this situation where he had no other option, and he was desperate. So he just was willing to surrender in that situation, and it turned out to his obvious benefit.
Yeah.
He appeared and rescued him.
Exactly.
So that was a really nice point.
Very nice point. Thank you so much. That's a very nice point. Therefore, Prabhupada often said that's the beginning of devotional service. And if you're like that, and if you continue and go forward, then you will come to the position of the Brajvasis. You know, who can be with Krishna in the most adorable forms. Brajvasi, Krishna, cowherd boy, little baby. And Mother Yashoda's love is like, there's a pastime when, after Kurukshetra, when the Brajvasis went to see Krishna at the Kurukshetra in the solar eclipse, then on the way back, Nanda Maharaj, and he really tried to get Krishna to come back. I mean, he kept staying there. And because everyone knew how dear he was to Krishna, and they offered him so much respect, even the kings and all these people, because he wouldn't leave, they couldn't leave. So they were staying there week after week after week, and he's going to, yes, I'll leave tomorrow. I'll leave after tomorrow. I'll leave tomorrow. And he just kept avoiding leaving. And then all of them figured out, oh, I see. He wants to take Krishna back to Vrindavan with him, and if he doesn't get that, then he's not going to go. Right? So at one point, I think Krishna had to say something to him. Look, I'll be there. Don't worry. I'm going to do this. I mean, he actually just said what he was going to do. Shalva's going to come, and then I'm going to kill him, and then it's time for Dantavakra, and so I'm going to go to Mathura, and then from there I'm going to go and see you. And then Nanda says, oh, okay. And then he finally left. But when he got back to where they were staying at that time, he couldn't face the Brajvasis, the ones that didn't, the ones that were left back. So he camped out on the bank of the Jamuna with all of the, Mother Yashoda was there, and the main persons who went, they were there, and they just camped out. So when it actually unfolded and Krishna killed Shalva, and then got the message, I don't remember how he got that message, but the Dantavakra sent him a challenge or something. I'll meet you in the gate of Mathura, or something like that, So Krishna said, right, that's right across the river from Braj. Okay, and then he went there and killed Dantavakra, and after he finished, he got on the boat with Uddhava to go over to see the Brajvasis. And on the way, Uddhava brought a box with him, and inside the box was his cowherd dress when he was in Vrindavan. So he got his cowherd dress, he's going across the river, and I think he blew a conch shell or something. He made some sound. I don't know if it was flute. Anyway, he made a sound everybody knew. So they went running to the bank to see him. And they were all there. And then Mother Yashoda stepped forward. When Krishna actually came, he was still in the boat. And he came and, he was ready to get off. Mother Yashoda stood out in front of everybody else and then got on the boat, put Krishna on her lap, and started mothering him. And it's described, this is in Gopal Champu, and it's described that her love was so powerful that everyone just had to stand back. Everyone wanted to go there and be with Krishna, but when Mother Yashoda was there, everyone, including Radharani, they all stood back. Oh, okay, And then some of the acharyas, Prabhupada also said that everyone knows that you have a tendency to be more affectionate with the mother than the father, because there's such an intimate connection with the mother and the child from the beginning. So in this way, Mother Yashoda is considered to be even greater than Devaki. Even Devaki in the Prakat Leela is the real mother. Yashoda is always the real mother, but he doesn't have a mother actually, in the real sense. But because Devaki didn't get to, she gave her breast to him right at the beginning when she said, "Please disguise yourself." So he became a little baby, and she took him and then gave him milk. And therefore, all of the other, when the sons came back, remember when the sons came back, when she asked Krishna for the sons back, and he brought them back, she gave them milk, and then they became liberated by taking the milk that Krishna had taken. So just if we get the good fortune to think about those things, then all these other things are like blasé compared to that. But still, the Brajvasis, they think how wonderful that is, and they relish. In Braj, they have their temples, and they do their rituals and everything. So uniquely wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go now because I got to get up early tomorrow morning. Take rest early. Had a little rough night after all those veggie burgers yesterday. You're lucky we got any sleep at all because we're not used to it. Okay, Hare Krishna tomorrow, Baba. Jai Gajendra Moksha ki Jai. Shri Vishnu Hari ki Jai. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shukadev Goswami ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's purports ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Tomorrow Saturday, I'll see you at 4:30 Central Time, USA. Hare Krishna, for another chapter of Srimad-Bhagavatam.